Alright, Abusia, Yabemo Bibia Kwabasho, Koso, Abba number 1 political channel, POG Media, so make sure. Say afe ana sawaba obe like no subscribe na afin so to my share Media, I'm a for so nsa to me aka. And please don't forget to click on the notification bell so I'm a brand no any political update be a better channel no so biano onso nsa to me aka na wa share na afin so asan so atwe wa adwene na abusua ensam ekoso my Ghana mo ayenso ya de pene say brand no ebe mi abedafo ehunu de eko ene de eba na de ensam ene ekoso o political highway ni so aye breaking news yensa kano enne awie ene se madama okwo impersonate Adwoa Safo ebrana chese E-Levy bill no ekoso our parliament voting ekoso no maami a okotenam anase MPP gurus ede no kotenam as Adwoa Safo anase unrepresented Adwoa Safo no the speaker of parliament Aban Babin etimi award for her arrest abusuya enye asenkuma esan say speaker Aban Babin twema maame no or threat to the nation abusuya breaking news ayenya ne se maame no the speaker of parliament Aban Babin award say yenko chino na omo a omobo ne passe ombra embetenem represent Adwoa Safo vote no ontimi expose omo abusuya enye asenkuma ntimi waste time plan mepesem bem yakọ na yakwakuti nsem no mu bi na asa na ebekọ no be sure so wonsem kai bia na be share your comment section or like share Media, ma foforo so nsa entumi enkemi meramasi.
Yet I am truly disappointed at the slow pace of Parliament in deciding a few things that happened a few months back. Aban Babin is seen to be a very serious person. One Speaker of Parliament who refused to be a rubber stamp of the executive. He has worked so hard in the past. Even at the peril of his life, he is seen working. And he's a very independent-minded Speaker of Parliament. Now his party is in power. And we expect that he would have more space to work even more. But I'm disappointed in some two quick things that happened. And it doesn't look like he's working fast enough to get them sorted out. Do you all remember E-Levy? You remember when we had E-Levy coming in and the past party in power, the NPP, decided to move around and pick up MPs from the party who were in the diaspora, either chilling out or doing some other such thing. My brother, my sister, they chartered planes to go to those areas and bring them in. Kennedy Japan was one of those. In fact, Adwoa Safo was one of those. They ferried them in first class into the country to vote for a certain demon called the E-Levy. They celebrated the E-Levy with an E-Levy cake. It was one of the most controversial in Parliament. Aside, when Aban Babin was going to be voted in as the new Speaker of Parliament. We all saw the gymnastics there. We saw how people were stealing ballot papers and chewing them. My brother, my sister, we all remember the Tema MP who did that. Carlos Ayenkra. My brother, my sister, the president at the time was so embarrassed and quickly they had to demote him and take him out of the ministerial position that he occupied. When they went into what is called opposition, I would call that into extinction. My brother, my sister, Carlos Ayenkra came out and said he was disappointed that he fought for the party and the party did not recognize the buffoonery he got into. He claims he served the party. For me, it was buffoonery. In a democracy, when people are voting to have the new Speaker of Parliament, you go and snatch the ballot box and snatch papers and you are destroying the papers and you call that service to who? You must be crazy. You must be an idiot. People like this, my brother, my sister, they are those who are supposed to be on the other side of jail. Yet you go in there and find people who smoked a little herb or who stole some plantain somewhere. Stealing is wrong in all cases. We condemn that. But we have bigger thieves who are walking about freely. We are people who don't have the nation at heart who are walking about freely. Let's relegate them to mass. There they can stay and do whatever they want to do. They can chew all the ballot boxes there in mass. Nobody cares. But here we care. My brother, my sister, they lied to us that the E-Levy was what was going to prevent the nation from going to the IMF and the World Bank to beg for money and saddle our nation with debts. Some people swallowed that hook. They went all length to make sure that it happened. My brother, my sister, they got their way. A few days later, they said it wasn't working. Therefore, they still have to go to the IMF and the World Bank. They blackmailed us. In fact, even the vote for the E-Levy itself was surrounded by jingoisms. In fact, the biggest was when Safo was flown in all the way from her base in the United States of America, where she had told us point blank that her family came first and not the nation. My brother, my sister, and she came into the Parliament House, we're told. It's been controversial. She herself later, in fact, recently told us that she abstained from voting for the E-Levy. That's it. I don't regret abstaining from E-Levy vote. Many read this to be, oh, that means she wasn't even in the Parliament House at all. But technically, it doesn't mean so. She could be there, and then probably she refused to vote. Now look at this. This was the woman who came on my right, wearing the dark face mask. And this is Safo, the Safo that we know, the arrogant Safo that we know. Was she the one in Parliament? What truly was the problem? And when you look at the Parliament House right now on the day, you look at the Speaker of Parliament walking in, you see, and then we zoom straight into the so-called Safo. Look at her. Look at her. Was she the one? She looked so different here. Very, very different. And in fact, a member of Parliament, former member of Parliament, has come out to say that they realized at the point that she wasn't the one in Parliament. And when they approached her, what did she say? He said he doesn't want to jump the gun. They have given all the information to the Speaker of Parliament and the right authorities to be able to deal with this. Even in Parliament, she was busy on her phone. My brother, my sister, is this the Safo that we all know, or it's a different Safo? My brother, my sister, politicians can do anything to achieve anything in their interest. This matter has become so controversial, and many people have petitioned the Speaker of Parliament to unravel the mystery behind this person. Was it Safo or not? She herself said that she was in Parliament when they were in power. Now that they are in opposition, she's saying that she abstained from the E-Levy vote. It is quite ambiguous. We want to know exactly what it is. Now, Speaker of Parliament says they are going to investigate this and come out with results. My brother, how long is it going to take them to investigate this? This small Parliament House. How long would it take them to be able to tell that this was actually Safo or not? Why is it taking so long? Why? Small Parliament House. So you see, when a national issue happens somewhere in Binduri and security forces are taking time to unravel it, we must know that that is a lot of work and must not give them pressure. A small place like the Parliament House, something happened in the Parliament House. The question is, our Parliament House in Ghana, how do they check in? Is it by thumbprint, fingerprint, or do they sign? What exactly do they do? A very powerful house like the Parliament House, we must have security checks balanced properly. We can't just go into the Parliament House by just signing a certain initial and then go in. We must use fingerprints and thumb, and so on and so forth. Of face identification, machines. How did this woman get into the Parliament House? Did she sign? Or did she just walk in there like that with the aid of other perpetrators? It's a shame that the Parliament House of Ghana has not been able to unravel this dirty mystery. that people are interested in? Would it inure to the benefit of the nation? Of course, yes. It will tell us that our Parliament House actually knows what it is about. It will tell us that, oh yes, you know what? No imposter can come into this house without being revealed. But first and foremost, if that is true, how did this person, if it's an imposter, enter the house without being revealed? Or is the Parliament House of Ghana ashamed to come out and say that, oh, you know what? There were security lapses, and for that matter, this person was able to walk in there without any detection. Now we know that it's not her, but they don't want to come out and say it. What is the truth? Aside this, there's another issue. Dash it away. This one. Sit down, daughter of murderer. He didn't say a murderer. Say daughter of murderer.
Alright, abusuya enti nsem no mu bi ene ekokoti na chese madama okọ impersonity Adwoa Safo our Parliament House no enti anya ne say Speaker Aban Babin order for her arrest her and asem kuma na abusuya Black Rasta editor aso na chese or Speaker of Parliament Aban Babin e chia what say je won yo mebu ho a speaker no atwentwen so je wo ha na Parliament House abra late JJ Rawlings ne baba ye friend Zanato Rawlings esole wo Parliament House or kasa say one of NPP MPs no baako etimi edum ne microphone no a osa kan say daughter of a murderer sit down dance mu ibeye bubruja ebesinde ye hu asem no pumasimre nipa okanda asem no Speaker of Parliament Emma NPP for no 1 man say omuyi nipa okanda asem nso ebesinde ye hu nipa okanda asem na chese oja Black Rasta ehwegu eye Speaker of Parliament so Aban Babin so say ontimi enhwese dasem no ye benya nipumasibere no enye asem kumenta busami waste time plan mepesem sabem yakoni akwakotie ensema eye Black Rasta editor so first Speaker of Parliament Aban Babin.
That case the M there must be a capital M. NP makes disturbing comment against Senator Ajiman Rawlings. This is Rawlings. This is the daughter. He was a former president of the nation. It doesn't matter whether you liked him whilst he was president or not. The most important thing is that somebody made utterances. When Murtala Ibrahim Mohammed, an MP on the day, this MP was speaking about the celebration of the birthday of JB Dankwa, a villain that this country had, deserves no celebration and no respect because these guys meant no good for Ghana. They were enemies of the state, enemies of the republic, and enemies of Kwame Nkrumah. These people were ready to defend murderers, cold-blooded murderers in court. JB Dankwa, my brother, my sister, is a hero of the NPP and the Buzia Dankwa so-called Dombo tradition. But he's not a hero for Ghana because he was only partisan-minded. Even in his own hometown, he was never voted as an MP. Chebi, he was beaten by a people teacher, my brother, my sister, who went from house to house, convalescing the votes that he got finally at the election. Meanwhile, this man considered himself as a bourgeoisie, and his propagandists will say that this is the doyen of Ghanaian politics. What a joke. My brother, my sister, we can table down a number of reasons this man should never be celebrated in the history of this country. And they were debating it in Parliament because the propagandists, the NPP guys, wanted their hero to be celebrated. My brother, my sister, what happened? Murtala Muhammad got up and was trying to explain why this man should not be celebrated. And MPs were putting off his microphone because they did not want to hear what he was saying. I don't know what power any MP has to put off another man's phone. What kind of connection is that? democracy is not even adhered to in the Parliament House. A man gets up to speak and another MP can switch off his microphone. I don't know how they do that. It should only be the speaker and a point of order that would make another speaking MP shut up. But in our Parliament House, an MP is busily speaking and other MPs are busily switching off his microphone. How they do it, only God knows. The same MPs went around breaking microphones in the Parliament House and breaking table legs like the vandals that they are. And they want to be called honorables. Such comedians, jokers. My brother, my sister, when Murtala's microphone was being switched off, it was Zaneto, daughter of Rollins, who was switching back the microphone on so that he could at least make his point. What wrong did she commit? Somebody is speaking. He has the right to speak. He has the attention of the speaker. He's speaking. And hooligans and vandals are at the back. They're switching off his microphone. And this pretty woman here tries to switch it back for him to complete his thing. Then somebody shouts from the back, "Daughter of murderer, sit down. Daughter of murderer, sit down." Many will say it's grammatically wrong, but depending on whether the M is a capital M or a small m, it could be correct. My brother, my sister, that is not what we are discussing today. We are not discussing whether she actually is the daughter of a murderer or daughter of murderer. What we are discussing now is the Speaker of Parliament asks the person to own up. Bagbin gives MP 1 week to confess over daughter of murderer comment as investigation begins. My brother, my sister, I advise the member responsible to within the week show honesty and plead than wait for outcome of investigations. My brother, it's past 1 month now. The person is not pleading. The person is not coming out to say anything. In fact, the person who was suspected in this case was Samuel Abujinapo. And he has come out to boldly say that it wasn't him and that no investigations will find him culpable. He's one of the worst ministers of Nana Akufo-Addo. In fact, when this man was in power, he made sure that Galamsey became as popular as Pekple during the Homo. One of the worst ministers. They almost legalized Galamsey. Everywhere you went, there was Galamsey, to the point that it was captured in a certain report that even the backyard of the Chebi Hine, there was some Galamsey activity happening there. Why? They give them small power and they feel like they are demigods. People like that, when I speak to them, I have no respect for them. Anywhere I meet them, I speak to them with eyes roaring. Anybody who demeans the integrity of Ghana, the integrity of our ancestors who fought to bring us here, when I speak to them, I come with all energy, spiritually and physically. And he's one of those. The dirty minds of the Nana Akufo-Addo government. I've said this time and again, Abujinapo is one of the worst ministers, if not the worst minister, in the Nana Akufo-Addo government. And the whole Ghana, all the ministers we have had from the days of Kwame Nkrumah, this is the worst minister. In his tenure of office, Galamsey became the in thing, so attractive that everybody wanted to get into it. Teachers ran away from schools to go and do Galamsey, illegal mining, destroyed our water bodies. In fact, many were killed. Chinese became the new rulers of this country. From the Galamsey pit, they dictated who should die and who should live. All because of this guy, little rat here, called Samuel Abujinapo. I don't like seeing his eyes. Dash him away. My brother, my sister, was it Abujinapo who said that? Samuel? Or who was it? He came out and boldly said it wasn't him. Why is it taking so long to find out in a small parliament house like that? Who said that? This is so surprising. It means anything can happen in our parliament house under our watch, and we'll never be able to see who is responsible. It's a shame. And I think Alban Bagbin should come out and tell us something. You are delaying, you are too slow, and you are too quiet. It's not good for the democracy of this country.
All right, Obusian teachers, winning some also all political hiring is what I say. Madama ono ko empesinity Addo Safo or Parliament House a bra E-Levy bill no ekoso under NPP government. No, a speaker Aban Babin, our that's a young co and conquation. It's say or a threat to the nation. Untimi ending the public say, on ya Addo Safo, or so ya Addo Safo. No, it's my betana Parliament House and the nose mask black Adwoa no, it's me a vote. I wish you just say, and some I course of Parliament House one day. Ayana and no ed, na papa, and ye asem kuma. Jabusam the Missiana Madame somebody penny, and me could see some a course of all political highways. Aha, POG Media, Madam.